Good evening. Matt M. Roy back once again, back to you on the 19th of January, 2019. See, this is day 4 of the week-long live stream event. Nothing in the chat window yet. Give people a few minutes to get here. Hope everybody's doing really well. I see we lost 2 people off the bat. Now we gained 1. Isn't that funny? I almost didn't make it back here on time. Mom and I went out to with the car group to Paradise Pizza over off of Airline Boulevard in Portsmouth, and I must say we had the best dinner. Mom and Dad actually got a pizza, the special, which had like everything on it, and I took a bite of that. I actually had a slice of that. It was the square Sicilian pizza, and that was really good. But I liked what I had. I actually had the stuffed shells Florentine. Stuffed shells, stuffed with ricotta cheese. They had spinach, chicken, feta, and mozzarella cheese all melted in the salamander, and that was to die for. So if you guys are ever in my neck of the woods, look it up. Paradise Pizza on Airline Boulevard in Portsmouth, Virginia. And we also had their she crab soup, which is very good. And believe it or not, that is included with the meal. You get like a little cup of the most delicious she crab soup, and you get a free dessert. This whole meal cost me $13.59. Unbelievable. Now, I'll tell you guys a funny story about this place. When they first opened, they were handing out these little takeout menus, little paper menus. And I see if I can do this with a straight face. On the front of it, they wanted to say we have she crab soup, because in our area, that's a huge selling feature for a restaurant to have she crab soup. But unfortunately, somebody replaced the B with a P. So in effect, they were telling everybody that we have she crap soup. She crap soup. I kid you not. This is a true story. And I must have laughed for about a minute when I first read that. I was absolutely shocked. Suffice to say, they've since fixed that issue with the menu, but that was unreal. And I wish I had a copy of that. I may still have a copy of that menu downstairs. I'll have to show you guys sometime. But that is not indicative of how good this place is, because the food there is absolutely to die for. Stephen Barber says, I wish I was doing okay, but I'm not. What's going on? Stephen, come on. Share a little bit if you feel like it. Jonathan Grindle says, officially made my main rig a Hackintosh instead of Windows 10 Pro, since it's not improving for features anytime soon. Yeah, I dabbled in the Hackintosh realm a while back. I had an old compact SR 1000 laptop that I turned into a Hackintosh, but never did too much with it because you guys know me, I'm not much for the Mac OS. Hired Gun is here. Nice to see you. Steve Barber said, lost my girlfriend and my best friend all in one night. Dude, I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry for your loss. I've been there before. It's never happened to me in one night, but I've lost 2 girlfriends, and I've actually lost several best friends over the years. I know it's never easy. Charlie Lipinski says hi. Hey, Charlie, how you doing? He's got 9 people here right now. Everybody's slowly trickling in. Give it just a minute here. Hopefully the chat window doesn't go all kaflooey tonight. Yes, Charlie, I remember you told me about the 2 MacBooks. That's nice. You know what? It amazes me that people can get MacBooks for free. I think I've only gotten 1 free MacBook in my life, and it was a piece of junk. I couldn't even get the thing to work. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to read a comment that somebody made about a video that I did live from Green, New York. This is Deborah Cheeser. Said, I was in Green twice for Raymond School. I loved it. 96, 97, had a few beers at the Bolodrome. Woohoo! Is still Silo still open? It is. The Silo's a great restaurant right outside of Green. Stayed at the Sherwood Hotel, which unfortunately is closed now. That went out of business about a year ago. It was winter both times, 2 feet of snow on the ground. Well, guess what? They're about to get that again this weekend. I got a call from my uncle. He said they're expecting about 2 to 3 feet of snow over the weekend in Green. Drove my orange Raymond van all over the place. We circled 8 vans up behind the hotel. Man, we had fun. Wow. I know how small that parking lot is, too. That must have been interesting. I bet the owners and the people that work at the hotel were pissed. Hired Gun says, just moved my son out into a new apartment. Well, tell him congratulations for me. Charlie said, one is a 13-inch 2010 and a 15-inch MacBook 2011. Nice scores. Really cool. I've tried working with the Mac OS, and it's just not for me. You guys remember I had that that 2011 Core i7 27-inch iMac a while back. I tried using iMovie on there, and I tried using Final Cut Pro. I just couldn't get used to it, so I scrapped that project and just sold it. Actually, got a really good price. I wound up making about $200 on that deal. A 2019 Mustang went for $1.1 million at auction yesterday. I didn't hear that. I can't imagine any Mustang being worth that much. I mean, I have nothing against Mustangs. They can be great cars, but not at that price point. Xbox Fanatic is here. Hey, Xbox, nice to see you. Okay, I don't know if John Doe is here, but I wanted to elaborate on something. He commented on my massive thrift store haul video I did the other day. And I won't read the whole thing, but the gist of it is he wanted to know why I couldn't dumpster dive at the thrift stores. And I explained to him that even though dumpster diving in my area is technically legal, I have done it in the past at retail establishments. It is not legal to do it at thrift stores or secondhand shops because they're charity shops. If you take anything from a charity shop, a thrift store, something that was donated to charity, whether or not they throw it away or not, it is a criminal offense, and you can actually be put in prison for that. It's the same principle like if you see those donation boxes in front of the grocery stores. If you take like the clothing donation boxes, if you take things from there, you can go to jail. And it's just kind of a bad idea anyway. It's a shame that they throw some of the things out they do. If it was legal, believe me, I would be dumpster diving my thrift store all the time because they throw away a lot of good stuff. But at the end of the day, I just don't want to go to prison. John Doe is here. John, I hope that clarified everything for you. What happened to the huge lot of computers that I had? Which one? I've had so many lots. I can save us a lot of time here. I've pretty much sold through all computer lots that I've gotten. The only computers I've left for sale right now are the Alienware Aurora or Alpha sitting over there. That computer right back there, which is one of those Dell Precision T3500s, and I have another Dell Optiplex 3020 sitting downstairs. Those are the only 3 I have left. I sold most everything before Christmas. People were very apt to buy computers, new or used, right before the holidays. So that's a great thing for you guys. If you're looking to expand and do like a sideline, get yourself some computers to refurbish and get them all done right before Christmas, end of November, beginning of December, believe me, you'll make a lot of extra cash. And who doesn't need that for the holidays, right? See what else we got here. I know Mark Covington's probably not here, but he made a comment yesterday about taking down the Christmas decorations, because I had said something to the effect that, oh, we usually take them down a week earlier than we did, because we actually just finished doing it yesterday. And he said, "Don't worry, Matt. It's your house. You take them down whenever you want." And that's right. We had them up that long because we had guests coming over. And we wanted them to be able to see the decorations. But generally, we'll take them down first or second week of January, usually around the 9th or the 10th. Now, when my mom used to work and my dad used to work and I used to go to school, there were times that we didn't actually take down the Christmas decorations until beginning of February. But that's when we lived in upstate New York, and we were in a very rural area. Our house was set very far back from the street. So if we had those decorations up year round, it really wouldn't matter. You couldn't hardly see the house from the street. But being that we now live in an area where the houses are very close together, people come up and down the street all the time. If you have those decorations up a month after Christmas, beginning of February, middle of February, you'll pretty much start getting notices from the homeowner association saying, "Please take down your Christmas decorations." No, not really. We don't actually have a homeowners association here. We do have like a president that looks over things for the actual development, but we didn't want to move into like a neighborhood that a homeowner association, because there's just way too many rules like that. Plus, you have to pay dues too. That's never fun. Hired Gun says 2 days after Christmas, the decorations are gone here. Yeah, a lot of people are like that. A lot of people in my neighborhood put their Christmas decorations up the day after Thanksgiving, take them down the day after Christmas. That's definitely not us. It's not that we're lazy per se. It's just that we like to see them up. We enjoy looking at them for longer than most people, I guess. Classic Mobile Mask, have you seen my new videos? Yes, I did. I watched a few of the new videos, and I like the new microphone that you have. It's a lot easier. I remember your first few videos, you were having trouble getting the audio levels right, and they sound a lot better now. That brings me to another point. Those of you that follow me on Facebook probably already know what I'm going to show you, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. A little bit of a teaser here. I didn't have to. I redeemed my credit card rewards points the other day, and I got a $50 Best Buy gift card. Well, when I went to Best Buy today, I was looking for something to buy because I wanted to use it up, and I chose this. This is the Rode video microphone, or the Video Micro. This is model number V Micro, or VMIRCO, if you can see that. This got really good reviews. I did have to add a little bit of money. After this was $59.99, so it was like $63.20 after tax. So I had to add about $13 to the price, but I'm okay with that. I looked at some reviews online. They're saying this is a very good microphone. It's almost as good as the Rode Video Mic Pro. And I actually listened to a sample of both the Pro and the Video and the Rode Video Micro, and actually thought the Video Micro sounded better. Some of the specs on this: compact on-camera microphone. This is actually going to be mounted to my DSLR. And I need a microphone like this because if I use the autofocus and I use the built-in microphone that's on my DSLR, you'll actually hear the noise from the camera's autofocus. So this should fix that problem. No battery required, and I really like that because 9 times out of 10 with these external boom mics, they require some type of battery, and I really didn't want to have to deal with that because if I'm out on location filming something, I don't want to have to worry about the battery dying, and that was a problem I had with my Tascam mic. So That's all better here. Compact size, Rycote Lear suspension mount included. Includes furry windshield for optimum performance, which is basically this little thing that looks like a duster. And that's nice to have because I will be filming outside a lot with this, and the wind can really become a problem. So can't wait to start using this. For the last few months, I've actually been filming some of my vlogs and the cooking videos with the Canon Vixia HFR 200, something like that. And that camcorder is okay, but it doesn't have I can't talk about it. It doesn't have the quality of my DSLR, my Nikon D5500. So very happy to have this. Daniel Quimby says, perfect time to tune in. I have that microphone for my Canon T5i, great quality. Thank you very much for the testimonial. Like I said, I really am glad to have this finally because it'll make filming with that camera a lot easier. Up until now, when I did film with it, I had to use the manual focus. If you go back and look at some of the cooking videos, you can tell which ones I filmed with it because there are segments in that video where something's not quite in focus, and that's because it's very hard to film and constantly focus at the same time while also thinking of what to say. Jonathan Riddle asks, Matt, do you still have your Xbox One from the thrift store home, Matt, or did you sell it? Oh, I sold that a while ago. You got to remember, I've been resharing some of these older videos. So if you're watching one of my videos, make sure you look at the date, because if it's anything from a year or two ago, chances are I won't have it. Or even if I do, I probably won't remember. A lot of stuff gets put in the bottomless pit that is that closet, unfortunately. If I pose the question to Google, John Doe says, it says I have to take my decorations down within 12 days of Christmas. In other words, the end. So January 5th at dusk. Well, Google can say what they want. But we do, like I said, as long as we get them down by the 15th or 16th, usually everybody's okay with it. The Adventure Mazda. This is in response to one of my older videos, the one I did of my dad's 1999 Lincoln Town Car. He goes, you bought this one town car, then another one for just yourself in silver. I just found both videos and they're only 2 weeks apart. I just picked up a 2000 Lincoln Town Car myself. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Back, let's see, when was that? Let me see what dates that was. That was 2014. Yeah. Literally, my dad, I helped him pick up this 99 Lincoln Town Car. And about 2 weeks later, I picked up mine because I was so impressed with his. I thought his town car was the bee's knees, and I still think it is. I think that for quality, durability, and price, you really can't beat a good old reliable American muscle car, American boat, let's say. Now, I mean, I'm going to include the Lincoln Town Car, the Buick LeSabre, Park Avenue, any of these older full-sized American cars. Now, people argue with me and say, yeah, the Lincoln Town Car is better because it's a full-frame rear-wheel drive, and the Buick LeSabre, like mine, is a front-wheel drive unibody. But they're still both very, very good vehicles. And yes, before anybody asks, I will be doing a full review of the Buick LeSabre. I'm just waiting for a good, sunny, warmer day to do it. But that gets me to another point. I've had people ask me what cars are the best ones to get, used cars. And I always tell them, don't go too new, because modern cars have a lot of tech in them, yes, and it can be fun, Apple CarPlay, Google Home, or was it Google Play? But a lot of this tech winds up failing. And when it fails, it costs a lot of money to fix. I would much rather get an older car like my 2000 Buick LeSabre, have that as my daily driver, not have a car payment, and not have to worry about a lot of things breaking down. And they honestly just made cars better back then. I don't regret getting the van. I do like owning the van, especially when I have to pick up a lot of computers. I need it for that, really. But I don't drive the van anymore on a regular basis. As a matter of fact, ever since I got the Buick LeSabre, I think I've driven the van a total of 3 times. And the only reason I take it out right now is just to keep the battery up and, run it, because it's not good to have a vehicle sit for a long time. Classic Mobile Home asks, do you have a 2 terabyte hard drive? Yeah, I have a couple of 5 terabytes hooked up to this. Those are the hard drives I use to back up my videos. I actually have a chance to get a whole bunch of 2 terabyte hard drives. I've actually gotten some from the same source. It's on Craigslist. They're HGST 2 terabyte enterprise hard drives. These things are awesome hard drives. They're rated for something like 1,000,000 hours, and I can get them for $20 a piece. So I may look into getting some more of those in the next couple of weeks. And I know the guy. I've actually bought these hard drives from him before, and they're all really good. I've only had one drive I got from him that had like 2 bad sectors, and I was able to repair them with C tools, I think it was. And that's another thing. When you buy used hard drives, you really have to be careful, because if they're not enterprise grade like those are, chances are you're going to start having some bad sectors. Excuse me. Itchy nose again. Jonathan Grindle, anyone know if they make 4K Blu-ray optical drives for PCs yet? No, but I can look it up. I'm pretty sure they do. Yep, there's one right here. I'll go ahead and share it with you. That's an eBay listing for one. Says the brand new LG WH16NS40, blah, 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 has the latest firmware update, which can run 4K discs. So there's the answer to that question. John Doe says, at the trailer park on 8 Mile on north side of Detroit, they keep Christmas lights up all year. Yeah, I'm not surprised. There are a few trailer parks around where we are that they keep them up all year too. Then we have some real nice ones too, honestly. Eric Brunhammer said, just got the notification. Sorry, I'm late. That's all right. You know what? I don't take attendance. You guys don't feel obligated that you have to attend every single live stream. I honestly don't mind that. That's why I kind of do them on these week-long events, because it gives you guys a chance, everybody to come. And I like seeing every night that I have different people come too. That's really cool. Daniel Quimby asked, was wondering if you could help me with my computer. It is making a noise like one of the fans goes to spin at a high speed and then stops. Upon looking inside, there is some dust inside the computer. We'll clean the inside with air work. That's where you want to start. Yeah, if there's some dust that's built up, especially between the heat sink and the fan, that could be the problem. So what you're going to want to do, disconnect your computer, take the side cover off, take it outside, and get yourself some canned air, or better yet, if you have an air compressor at home, go ahead and blow all the dust out that you can. Then what you do is you bring it back inside, hook the computer up with the side cover off, turn it on, and make sure all the fans are spinning. But more than that, make sure that the fans are spinning freely and they don't hear any like grinding or whining noise. Another thing you can do before you even turn it back on, you can manually spin each fan and put your hand over the fan shroud and feel if there's any vibration. If there's a vibration there, then chances are the bearings in that fan are going bad and it'll need to be replaced. Jonathan Grindle said, trying to stay away from eBay. Sorry, Matt. Yeah, I don't know if you're referring to an eBay addiction, but that has happened to me in the past. There was a time where I spent way too much of my paycheck on eBay stuff. So hopefully that's not the case for you. Jonathan Griddle says, but hold the fans while you clean them. If you're using an air compressor, yes. If you're using just canned air, no, you don't need to hold them. It won't spin them that fast. And in my experience, honestly, even using a low grade or a low power air compressor still probably won't overspin the fans. I use my dad's one downstairs, which is a industrial mechanic shop size air compressor, and I've never ruined a fan blowing them out. It's just very rare that happens. Eric Brunhammer asked, do you know of any stores other than Worst Buy, ha ha ha, where a guy can get thermal paste on a Sunday? And no, I do not have a Micro Center anywhere near me. Maybe Office Max or Office Depot. Other than that, it would just have to be like a small computer repair shop. I get mine on eBay. I get big tubes of it. A lot of people say they like Arctic Silver. I like this Ceramonique 2. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but this is what I use, and this always seems to work really well. Ceramonique 2, trilinear ceramic thermal compound. It's actually made by Arctic Silver, but it's not the actual Arctic Silver like most people think. But this works fine. I've done some testing with this. I've used this for quad-core and octa-core processors, and this actually works really well. I may actually need to buy some more. I'm starting to run low on this, so good thing I looked. Herrick says, some people like to claim that spinning the fan will shoot power into the board. I never heard of that. There's no way that that's true. If that was true, it'd have to have some type of alternator on it or some type of generator on it. No, that there's no truth to that. Mr. Jimmy says, my PS3 sounds like a jet engine playing games. Some of them do, but if it starts getting really loud, then chances are your thermal compound is starting to go bad, and you're going to want to go ahead and either take it apart yourself and replace the thermal paste, or if you're not comfortable doing it because it's your PlayStation, there are a lot of local shops that'll do it. I know that my local shop, Old School, will do minor repairs to systems like that. But chances are what's happening is your thermal paste is drying up and it's not dissipating the heat like it's supposed to. What thermal paste actually does, for those of you that don't know, it actually helps facilitate moving the heat from the CPU or the GPU to the heatsink, and then the heatsink takes it and moves the fan, and the fan, of course, blows it out of the case. That's why you need the thermal paste. It really plays an important role in keeping your computer, your game station, whatever you have, working properly. And after a certain period of time, usually 3, 4, 5 years, the thermal paste breaks down and turns to something resembling like hard rubber. And that's when you need to go ahead and replace it. Classic Mobile Home said, I need a 2 terabyte hard drive for my wife's photos. Um, you're probably better off getting an external one. I know that Walmart recently has had some really good deals on hard drives. I went in there and I think they had it was a 5 terabyte Seagate external hard drive for like $79. I mean, they are just getting so cheap now. It's unbelievable. John Doe asks, what if I don't want to shovel the driveway? Well, let's see. You would probably have to go to, let's see, what can we do about that? Mel Brooks. You probably have to get that big hair dryer that they had in Spaceballs, plug it in, and maybe you can just melt the snow away. Other than that, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe a snowblower is in your future. Jonathan Grindle said, Western Digital Black is what I would recommend. They're good drives. For basic photo storage, kind of unnecessary, in my opinion. You'll be spending more money if you go with a Western Digital Black. You could easily go with a Western Digital Blue or even a green drive, because all this is archival storage. If you are running the drive, if you're running your operating system off the drive, I would say, yeah, absolutely go for the Western Digital Black because it's going to be the fastest. But for archival storage, you really don't need anything with that much speed. Get another drink here. Excuse me. It's very dry out right now. We're supposed to get rain tomorrow, but you know, the calm before the storm, the humidity is really low. It causes me to kind of dry out. Plus, we had Italian food tonight, and Italian food usually has a lot of salt. Nick Roberts asked, is 100 New Zealand dollars good for a 480 gigabyte SSD? Let me look that up. Okay, so and they're comparable. So yeah, I would say it's not a bad deal. No, I would say that's a pretty good deal. I mean, you might be able to get it a little cheaper online, but yeah, if it's a SanDisk, I like SanDisk. I haven't had a lot of problems with SanDisk. And if it's got NAND storage, that's all the better. The NAND storage is just a little bit quicker. Looks like I hurt Classic Mobile Home's feelings. I passed your last live stream because you passed me up sometimes. I was actually at that live stream that you had the other night, believe it or not, Classic Mobile Home. I actually put a comment there, but I didn't see you. I don't know if maybe you're having technical difficulties or something. Eric Brunhammer said, our dinner tonight was kielbasa and sauerkraut in a crock pot. I'm sorry. My mother used to force me to eat kielbasa when I was a kid, and I never got a taste for it. I like bratwurst. I like cheddar wursts, but I never got a taste for kielbasa. And I never really... I like cabbage, but I don't actually like sauerkraut. Again, I think it's because when I was young, my mother forced me to eat this stuff. And when you're young and somebody forces you to eat something that you don't like, chances are later on in life, you're not going to like it. See, we got 15 watchers and 11 likes. Awesome. Yeah, sauerkraut is just too sour for me. It's just to me, cabbage should be kind of on the sweet or salty side and not sour. I don't know, just never sat well with me. Nick Roberts said, I liked just about any foods. You're equal opportunity eater. Well, that's good. Then wherever you go, you can probably eat what they're having. Jonathan Grindle likes sausage and cabbage, or cabbage and sausage. Yeah, you know who does that? And it's been a while since I've been there. Is Golden Corral. Golden Corral, believe it or not, has cabbage and sausage. And that was really good, though. I don't really go to Golden Corral anymore because I actually got sick the last 2 times I went there. Our Golden Corral is very sketchy. The food there is just, the food is not good, and their cleanliness leaves a lot to be desired. And I'm not trying to put Golden Corral down as a restaurant chain. As a chain, I think they actually do a pretty good job, believe it or not, but just my local Golden Corral, their cleanliness standards have gone way, way down. Mark Covington, and this is a response to one of my other live stream videos. He goes, "Hey, Matt, did you say that thing you have with the 2 light bulbs screwed in is called a light bar?" Yeah, that's that thing I got at the thrift store that I think it was originally used in like an old camera studio that I put the 2 LED lights in. I can't wait to start using that because that's going to help me out tremendously when I'm trying to film videos, especially at nighttime. That was a really nice score. He asked how much would something like that cost on eBay. I honestly don't know. Probably not that much. I would think probably $30 or $40. But that's something you can look up, Mark. It's the B10 or something like that. I'll have to look it up. It's in my closet. Eric Brunhammer says, this is a butcher shop grade beef kielbasa. Maybe that's different. We always used to get the Pepperidge Farm kielbasa or the Hillshire Farm kielbasa in the prepared food section, and that was just nasty. No more kielbasa talk. It's turning my stomach. Gordon Ramsay should go there and teach them a lesson. I don't think Gordon Ramsay would ever go to a buffet because he is not for them. He has said many times on Kitchen Nightmares that buffets are never a good idea because you can't have consistent quality. Chances are when you go there, the food's been sitting out for hours and hours and hours, and it's not going to taste good. So I doubt you'd ever get him at a buffet, but it'd be interesting if you did. I don't think, to the best of my knowledge, I don't think he's ever done a Kitchen Nightmares at a buffet, not a restaurant that's specifically a buffet anyway. Eric Brunhammer said, my grandmother used to force me to eat liverwurst. That is gross. You want to know something funny, Eric? That is something I actually do enjoy once in a while, is some good liverwurst or Braunschweiger or Knackwurst. You're sensing a German theme here? I think I'm going to be honored. Jonathan Grindle says, Matt, you should try tiger sauce. What in the world is tiger sauce? Tiger sauce is an exotic, moderately spicy blend of ingredients in cayenne pepper base with a touch of sweet and sour. Ooh, that does sound good. Perfect for meat, seafood, poultry, delicious on sandwiches, in dips and soups. I would give that a try. Yeah. I like the cayenne pepper. You guys know I like things that are spicy anyway. So, yeah, I might give that a try. Good recommendation. I'll stick that in my bookmarks and look that up a little bit later. We got 16 watchers and 12 likes. Nice. Yep, Eric. I know. You never said specifically, but I kind of figured you were German by the name. I mean, Brunhammer is a nice old German name. I'm German, but no. Nick Roberts, only food I will never eat is bugs and haggis. Yeah, I probably would never eat haggis either. Sheep's stomach? Is it sheep's stomach or sheep's intestine? I know it's one of the two. I've eaten bugs. Yeah, I've had chocolate covered ants and I've had yogurt covered flies before. I preferred the ants. The flies weren't filling enough. It was like you're eating nothing. Eric said, "Have you ever had scrapple?" No, I've actually never had scrapple. I've seen it. My good friend Greg used to eat it a lot, but I've never ate it myself. I rarely eat prepared foods at all anymore. Like I don't eat frozen dinners. I don't eat, for the most part, I don't eat like prepackaged sweets. So every once in a while, I'll have a whoopie pie. Mainly, I'm trying with this lifestyle change to eat more healthy, eat fresh. That's why I make my own soups. I try to eat at home as much as possible. Pretty much the only prepackaged food that I eat is my steel cut instant oatmeal that I eat for breakfast every morning. Classic Mobile Home says best car Cadillac. I can't really argue with that, though the newer ones are not that good. I'd agree with that if it goes to pre 2000. Like we're talking from the 50s to the 90s, Cadillac reigned supreme. And then in the late 90s, early 2000s with that god awful North Star V8, they went downhill really quick. Sonic Wang says, "Love me a good Big Ben mice and cheese pie." Don't think I would ever go there. Pre North Star, absolutely. The North Star had a lot of problems. It had issues with head gaskets blowing, oil starvation to where the top end of the engine wouldn't get enough oil unless you overfilled it. And that would just do damage to the engine. I've seen so many North Star engines go out at 80, 90, 100,000, and even less. I actually knew somebody that had a '02, I think it was '02 or '03 Cadillac DeVille with the North Star. The engine seized up at 60,000 miles. And do you know that he wasn't even that low? He was maybe a quart low on oil. But because of the design of that engine, it was enough for the engine to be starved of oil on the top end. And the engine seized up and he wound up selling that car. Classic Mobile Home says you're referring to Cadillacs from the 50s to the 70s. Yeah, that would even include the 80s, because some of the early 80s Cadillacs were actually really good, especially the ones that had the 5-liter V8. Not the 4100, because believe it or not, the 4100 suffered the same problem as the North Star. It had engine oil starvation problems to where it would actually seize up sometimes. John Doe said liver and fried onions. Love it. I've had it. Haven't had it in a while, but I do like liver and onions. I have to be very careful with liver, though. We have gout in our family. Gout runs on my mom's side of the family, and you can actually exacerbate and get gout from eating too many organ meats, including liver. You know, liver, heart, kidney, any of the organ meats from any animal are very purine rich. And the purine is what actually causes gout. So I just have to be very careful when it comes to that kind of stuff. Sonic Wang says, my nan's car caught fire the other day. She never replaced the oil for years. Could probably the reason. I don't know why it is with people that they don't understand you have to change your oil. Change your oil every 3,000 miles, maybe 5,000 miles if you're using synthetic, something like a Mobil 1 synthetic. But people seem to think that you can go 20, 30, 40, 50,000 miles without changing your oil. Well, I'll tell you, I've seen engines with that kind of mileage that where they never change the oil. When they take the valve covers off, it resembles something like pancake batter, only black, and that will destroy your engine faster than anything. And what would you rather do? Pay the $20 or $30, get your oil changed, every 3,000 miles, or wait until your engine conks out and have to buy a new car, or at the very least pay $3,000, $4,000 for somebody to have to rebuild your engine or put a new one in. I mean, it's not rocket science, people. It really isn't. Interesting. I'm going to read this out loud because I know Eric Brunhammer knows a little bit more about this than I do. He's saying, I believe this is pertaining to the North Star engine. He said, one of the things with them was the way the oil return was designed. The valve cover had to be full of oil before it would return, so you'd starve for oil. That's it right there. So basically, from what I gather from that, the valve oil returns were too thin. So what happened is, if you didn't have enough oil, the oil would get up, maybe if you were lucky, but it would have a hard time getting up there. That's why when you had these engines, you want to overfill them with oil, because if you overfill them, the oil would always stay up in those valves. But if it was a quarter too low and that little tiny valve return was clogged, then that's when your engine would starve for oil and you'd be in big trouble at that point. Sonic Wang asks, do you have a PayPal account? Because I can't donate with my PayPal credit on Super Chat, only a credit card. I do. Yeah, I'll message you that later. But I really appreciate that. Anybody who's considering donating to the channel, I always appreciate that, because it's always going to go to helping improve the videos. Probably not going to do a lot of outdoor videos right now, the way the weather is, but as soon as the weather breaks, springtime comes, all bets are off. And yes, I will definitely be going to Busch Gardens and riding that roller coaster, because I promised that to you guys, and that's definitely going to happen. No more people in the chat right now. 15 watchers. That seems to be the theme for the night. That's okay. My external hard drive just spun up for some reason. There we go. It's weird. They'll do that every once in a while. They'll just spin up, spin down, spin up. I'm not sure why. Eric Brunhammer says, with any luck, starting in March, I will be tearing apart an engine with about 300,000 miles on it and shooting a video of it. I can't wait to show what well-maintained engines look like with that kind of mileage. That would be very interesting. I would actually like to see that. And I know engines can go 500,000 miles or more, even gas engines, if you maintain them properly. Had a friend of ours that had one of those Geo Metros with 3-cylinder engines. Had almost 200,000 miles on the original engine. It was still going strong. And I asked him one day, I said, Lenny, how in the world do you get that kind of mileage out of one of those engines? He says, well, I change my oil every 2,500 miles. There you go. It's as simple as that. All right, tubers. I think I'm going to end it here. I see we're losing a bunch of people. Hope you guys really enjoyed this live stream. We have 3 more days to go, so please continue to like and subscribe. Remember, if you're watching my videos and you're not subscribed, please take a minute. Go in there and click that subscribe button. That always helps me out. And right next to that, click the bell icon to enable notifications. That way you'll get notified of any new videos that I put up. So like Classic Mobile Home said, I don't understand what he's saying there. Tell your peers to go see me on YouTube. Okay, yeah, go ahead and watch Classic Mobile Home's videos. He's a good guy. He's putting up some new content lately and very interesting stuff. All right, tubers, I'm outie. Have a blessed day, everybody.